Mario Kart World is set to be the most ambitious and revolutionary game in the series, but just from one trailer, we really don't know much about this game. Wrong. Here on Switch Top, we analyzed every inch of the Mario Kart World trailer, along with the Nintendo Treehouse footage and the Mario Kart website, and we have found 100 of the most interesting and game-changing facts about this game. So today, let's take a look at 100 Mario Kart World facts that you might not know. Mario Kart World is, if you couldn't guess, open world, with there being dynamic time of day, weather, and tracks from lap to lap. This game cost $80 in the US. Jeez. You can race as a Moo Moo Meadows cow. Alright, that price tag actually might be worth it now. It releases on June 5th alongside the Switch 2. Mario Kart World doubles the racer count from Mario Kart 8, with there now being 24 drivers per race, the most in series history. Grinding is a brand new mechanic to the game. You can grind on the rails, power lines, and jump from rail to rail to get a speed boost. Shells can also travel on the rails, making it so you can't just hide on a rail to be invincible. Along with grinding, wall riding is also a new feature, with Mario being shown to jump from wall to wall. It appears you can keep tricking as long as you are in the air, as Peach is shown to double trick here, and Mario triple tricks here. Kart parts from Mario Kart 7 and 8 are no more. Now you can just pick a kart like any other game. Although gliders are now removed, karts can still fly, with each kart having wings. The flying also appears to be much more open and free compared to the cutscene-esque nature of Mario Kart 8's gliding. You can no longer go underwater like in Mario Kart 8. Instead, your kart inflates its tires and adds a motor to drive over the water. Going off track doesn't appear to slow you down as much as previous games, with you still being able to keep your drift as well. When you go off-road, your tires inflate to be a bit bigger. There are 3 main modes that we know of so far, with those being Grand Prix, Knockout, and Free Roam. Grand Prix functions normally, racing on 4 separate tracks, but with one big twist, getting from course to course is now part of the race. Because of this, some quote-unquote races start with you already driving. Luckily, you can still get a starting boost if you time it right. The track laps are now different, depending on the course, with the most courses being one long track, with different checkpoints, much more like Mount Wario and Big Blue from Mario Kart 8. Along with that, some tracks consist of as many as 8 laps, the most in series history. Retro tracks make a return, but with some alterations, to accommodate the open world. The retro tracks currently confirmed are Mario Circuit, Moo Moo Meadows, Wario Stadium, Desert Hills, Shy Guy Bazaar, Airship Fortress, Tour Sky High Sundae, Wario Shipyard, and DK Pass. Wario Stadium is making its first appearance as a retro track in Mario Kart World. It's the last Mario Kart 64 track to finally get a remake as a retro track in a new game. Due to the more open nature of these tracks, there are many more environmental hazards, such as charge and chucks, thrown footballs, giant sandworms, and other enemies that will run at you. Cars and other hazard vehicles to avoid now have drivers on the inside like Koopas and Shy Guys. The coin count is now doubled from 10 in Mario Kart 8 to 20 in Mario Kart World. Most items from Mario Kart 8 return, with those being the banana, green shell, red shell, mushroom, all triple counterparts, the coin, blue shell, bomb, gold mushroom, star, fire flower, boomerang, blooper, boo, lightning, bullet bill, and super horn, with the notable exceptions being Piranha Plant and Crazy 8. Returning items from other games include the Mega Mushroom from Mario Kart Wii and the Feather from Super Mario Kart. Yeah, it was in Mario Kart 8's battle mode, but here it is actually playable in regular races in Mario Kart World. The Treehouse players try to use the Feather as a dodge for the blue shell. Now, this either confirms you can dodge blue shells with a properly timed Feather, or the Treehouse players are just dumb, which wouldn't surprise me. Some items from Tour make their way into Mario Kart World, with them being the Hammer, which lets you throw a line of hammers at once, the Ice Flower, which freezes enemies, and the Coin Box, which gives you multiple coins. At least 2 brand new items make their debut as well, with them being a Golden Shell, which leaves coins in its trail until it explodes with many coins, the Kamek Ball, which seemingly changes characters into whoever used it, as in this footage here. Lightning now only shocks everyone in front of the racer who used it, and appears to only shock those who are outside, with the people undercover not shocked, which is just such a nice, small detail that they didn't have to do, but it makes so much sense. Why was there lightning when I was driving under something? That made no sense. The Boomerang Flower has 3 uses again, but now with a timer that starts once you first use the item. If you don't use all 3 uses immediately, it will go away. Not really sure how I feel about this change, but you know, there's probably some balancing reason for it. That mystery item from the Switch 2 trailer turns out to be a food bag item that gives you an area-specific dish that gives you a boost and changes your character's costume. Speaking of, Mario Kart World greatly increases the number of costumes, with there appearing to be 10 costumes for most characters. Mario Kart World adds the most amount of newcomer characters in series history, with well over 20 new characters shown off just in the trailer alone, with most being enemy characters like Goomba, Spike, and Charge and Chuck. Interestingly, no costumes are shown for most enemy-type characters, only for Mario Kart mainstays. Some items are slightly reworked. For instance, the Fire Flower only has 7 balls now, and the Bullet Bill appears to only slightly bump you out of the way. Double item boxes are back from Mario Kart 8. Once you pick up an item, it immediately is dragged behind you, incentivizing you to use it sooner rather than later so as to not lose it from a shock or have it stolen. The 3 stages of drifting are back, but the purple spark from Mario Kart 8 is now multicolored. You can now blow people up with a dragged bomb without it hitting you. During Grand Prix mode, you can interestingly only drive 1 lap on most tracks. The rest of the laps during each race are now delegated to you having to drive from course to course. The jury is still out on whether or not this is a good or bad thing, but it is something new for sure, which, you know, can't be too bad. If that last fact sounds terrible, don't worry. You'll still be able to race standard 3-lap races on tracks, but now you'll just do that in Versus mode. During Versus and Grand Prix mode, there will be barriers put up in different places to direct you towards the correct path. One to make a loop on the track, and one to go towards the next location. However, during free roam mode, those barriers are gone, allowing you to drive wherever you want. Bomb attacks in this game will have cartoony onomatopoeia text come up with an explosion, like this shot here exclaiming "BOOM!" after an attack. Super horns will display beep text above the drivers' heads. The onomatopoeia text could be a reference to Mario 64, where when you'd crash, you would see text. Crashing appears to be physics-based, depending on what you're hit from and the direction you are pointed. You'll sometimes lose differing amounts of momentum. Hitting vehicles on the road will now just stop your drift instead of spinning you out like in the other Mario Kart games. There are emotes in free roam mode. There appear to be achievements as well in free roam, with the clip shown here showing achievements for driving 300 kilometers on 2 separate tracks. Speaking of free roam, there appear to be at least 3 forms of collectibles in the open world, with those being P-switches, question blocks, and special coins. There's now an addition of a mini-map in the bottom right that shows your player icon and a top-down view of where you are. After falling off the track in a race, when Lakitu puts you back on the track, you get a starting boost. Thanks, Lakitu. Parts of the track seem movable, as seen here when Birdo enters this truck. Speaking of, you can now just enter other vehicles for a short amount of time. That's pretty cool. The current confirmed CC as of now are the normal 50, 100, and 150. It's safe to assume 200 will return, but with how wide open the game is, it's surprising 50 is even returning at this point. Half-pipes do not seem to be in this game. DK Spaceport is the final track in the Mushroom Cup. It is a reference to the original Donkey Kong arcade game with red steel beams and barrels to boot. After winning a race in Grand Prix mode, the race leader gets to wear a crown, similar to the crown in Super Mario 3D World. Some tracks will be reused in different cups, for Grand Prix taking closed paths. For example, Crown City will be the second track of the Mushroom Cup, and the third track of the Shell Cup. However, Crown City has 2 different routes for both the Mushroom and Shell Cup respectively, so they technically might appear in the game as 2 different tracks, just set in the same location. From what we can see in the treehouse, most main character riders will have 10 character costume unlockables. These can be unlocked by eating from Yoshi's restaurants scattered across the map. Also, Cow can eat a burger, which is quite disturbing if you think about it. When waiting for friends to join the lobby and choose a course, you'll no longer be taken out of the menu. Instead, you'll be able to drive free roam around the world and wait for the game to start. When taking a picture in free roam mode, you can now change your expression by pressing Y. The picture mode in Super Mario World is very similar to the one in Super Mario Odyssey. It makes me think, did the same team work on this game? Anti-gravity has been removed from Mario Kart World. However, you can still go up steep slopes. You just won't get a boost when running into other racers. If you're driving where the water is choppy near Wario's shipyard, you can actually trick off of them for a boost as if it were a ramp. Boo Cinema is a brand new Nitro track based on black and white horror films and the Mario enemy of the same name. The character Boo Hemoth from New Super Mario Bros. 2 can be seen in the background on this track. Alongside standard carts, the pipe frame Bitty Buggy, Dolphin Dasher, Bumble V, Bee Dasher, and Cloud9 all return as karts in this game. The baby blooper is based on the little bloopers paired with the blooper nannies, and its design is similar to the super blooper in Mario Kart Wii. The bike we see used by the cow in the trailer seems to resemble a radio. Dino Dino Jungle is making a return. However, this time it's a bit remixed. This time around, it's got a laboratory theming, which might be a slight reference to the Jurassic Park series. The character designs are based on Super Mario Wonder's more expressive and cartoony features. Mario Kart World will feature the most newcomer racers than any other Mario Kart game in the series. As of right now, we know of 20 newcomers just from trailers and treehouse footage alone. Starview Peak shares a close resemblance to the Comet Observatory from Super Mario Galaxy. The artwork from Starview Peak has Lumas on it, and they're also seen cheering you on in races, which makes the connection to Galaxy even stronger. Mario Kart Super Circuit is the only game to not have a confirmed retro track in Mario Kart World, unless you count Sky High Sundae as a tour track. Then Mario Kart 8 also doesn't have a track. A new arrangement of Yoshi Story's ending theme can play while in free roam mode. The rally bike is a reference to the Famicom Pulse Line cartridges. The world letter coloring in the title is almost identical to Super Mario World's colored pattern. The only difference is the D in the title, which is light blue here instead of green. In this shot here, you can see a shadow of a Mario Kart TV helicopter following you. Here you can actually see the helicopter drones, and it appears each racer will have one following them. Peach, Daisy, Rosalina, and Pauline don't start with their racer outfits on, like in 8 Deluxe. Instead, they'll start with their classic dresses and unlock their racer outfits as you play the game. Mario Kart Circuit 1, 2, and 3 from Super Mario Kart are all returning as fused versions of the SNES tracks. Dry Bones Burnout is the first ever Mario Kart track dedicated to Dry Bones. Koopa Troopa has an unlockable Koopa Troopa free running outfit based on his appearance in Super Mario Odyssey. This is the first Mario Kart game to feature Kevin Afghani as the new voice of Mario. Let's go! In the background of DK Spaceport, the space rocket shown here has a D-pad and 2 buttons, resembling an NES controller. The rails on Sky High Sundae have been replaced with rails you can ride on, because anti-gravity has been removed. Sky High Sundae has also added alternate paths to spice up the tracks on sharp turns. During the loading screen, a little item roulette will play in the bottom right corner of the screen. It'll choose an item and then show a little cute animation of it. This is what the menu looks like. It looks similar to the 8 Deluxe menu, except just overlaid with game footage. When riding on a rail, the longer you ride, the bigger your boost. You can tell you've got a bigger boost by the spark color on your tires, similar to Drift Boost. This billboard here advertises Sunshine Railway on Whistle Stop Summit. Sunshine definitely has a monopoly on transportation in Mario Kart. Mario Bros. Circuit is the first track to not be set in a grassy stadium location. Spoilers for anyone not wanting to know about leaks. Rainbow Road will be located right here in between Crown City and Far Away Oasis, per this Nintendo of Korea leak. The 11 years between Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart World is actually only the longest wait between brand new home console Mario Karts. Mario Kart World is the first game in the Mario Kart series to be a console release day title. So if you're excited for June 5th, be sure to hit subscribe because we're trying to hit 300,000 subscribers by the time Mario Kart World and the Switch 2 releases. Also, if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to click this video here talking about more Mario Kart World, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.